All right, all right. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Another episode 8 of Stinkbait, and I got a really, really good guest on for today. Two hometown legends. Um, some say we have the number one receiver coming out of Bells here. Bo Baker. How's it going, buddy? Little dig at Hunter.
It's
I'm sorry, I had to do
yeah, yeah. No, I
it.
can't I can't claim receiver out of Bells, man. I was a receiver my eighth grade year and beginning of my freshman year, and that's it. After that I was a running back. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hunter
Okay.
Hunter's wide receiver one. He's gonna stay wide
Hunter.
receiver one for the foreseeable future.
I mean, I don't know. There's some young cats out there that I think
Yeah,
maybe. What do
yeah.
you got?
Until they get some
Slot
passing
T.
going on there. There ain't nobody gonna.
That is
Yeah.
true. That is true. That's another thing that I wanted to bring up. Bo Baker being able to get a scholarship and actually put up that many yards, um, coming out of Bells in a wishbone offense. I mean, I got to give it to you, man. It's pretty damn impressive. That is what you guys were running, right?
It was a slot T, so it's not it's a slot it's like a hybrid off of wing T offense. So
Okay.
basically it's wing T is kind of has some like triple option tendencies. Like
Hmm.
there's certain reads and progressions that the quarterback can go through. Like, but with us, the slot T was mainly just like you knew who was getting the ball. There was no thinking in it, like for the quarterback or the facilitator, more or less.
Okay.
But
And so did you play like the spread whenever you were a freshman, or was
yeah,
that like okay?
so going into it, like I moved to Bells. I went to Bonham all throughout my life until like seventh grade year in Bells, my first year.
Right.
And so that was like while Hunter was there, and so it's like, oh man, like this stuff looks pretty promising. Like, of course, my dad played college football as a linebacker. I don't know if you see my dad, but he's just straight head and shoulders.
I
Doesn't look
think
like a
I've seen him.
receiver.
Yeah, I think I've seen him on the sideline. I never approached him or
Yeah,
anything like that
I
though.
don't, I don't, I don't even approach him, and he's my dad.
You don't
I
even
mean,
do it. Yeah, I got you.
I
I
leave him
got
alone.
you.
But yeah,
What college did he play for?
he played at Tarleton. He's all
Tarleton.
American. Yeah, Tarleton
Okay.
State.
Hell yeah, man. That's
So
badass. Well, all right. So I got a couple of stats I did my research on and everything. High school stats. I have 49 games played. Is that correct? Sound about right?
is this for me or for Hunter?
This is you, Bo.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure. About 49 games,
I don't know.
somewhere around
It was a
there.
whole lot of
I got
football went on at Bells, man. I mean,
I got
yeah,
4,000 rushing yards. That's pretty damn impressive. I mean, that's really them just handing you the ball off over and over and over again. It's either you or your brother, right?
yeah.
It's like
Whenever we were
Baker
there, of course,
combo.
yeah. It's more so like my junior and senior year. That's when it was because beforehand it was like before that it was Wrangler, and before that it was Hunter and that crew. And so, I mean, there was a lot of like there were a lot of like really good athletes come through such like a small rural town. Like it's crazy,
There
honestly.
is some athletes coming out of Bonham and everything too. What do you think really led y'all to come to Bells to play?
There was some so the that story kind of goes like I was in sixth, seventh grade. Like my dad was grew up in and around Bonham. Like he still works there. He's a fire chief up there. But they were going through a coaching change or something, and came down to like four. Um, they had like four different coaches, and one of
Hmm.
them was like super respected, like well known, had all the accolades and everything, had an impressive resume and whatnot. And he was like, "If you hire me, I'll take the other three and hire them on." And so it's like, well, you got these top four guys, you can possibly get all of these coaches here.
Yeah.
And then they went with someone else, and then proceed to go like have a 1-9 record or 2-8 or something like that. So dad is like, he's like, I can't watch that happen anymore.
Yeah, you
Next thing you
got a
know,
lot better football right down the road, right?
yeah,
Going
I
on in
mean,
Bills. So
literally, like we came and like we took a visit or something. Of course, I didn't want to leave
right.
initially. I didn't want to go at all. But then
How old
like
are you at this point? Like whenever you're going through this process, trying to figure out.
Shit. Or can I?
Yeah, you're all good,
Okay.
man.
All right, my bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
it's all
My
good.
bad.
Do whatever you want.
I was 14-ish,
Damn,
13, 14. And
that's
of course,
that's really young to be
I
going
didn't have
through.
any like at that time like I wasn't trying to go play college football or anything. I didn't know what I wanted to
Right.
do. I just wanted
Yeah,
to. I don't
that's what I
know.
wanted to ask you. Like, did I guess did you guys like see a future in football that early on and be like, I have to get somewhere where I have the best chance of doing that, or was it just want to be in the best position possible, or what do you think?
I mean, for me, like I didn't really like. I grew up. You want to be. I idolized my dad, and I wanted to be like him just because he played. And so I was in the back of my mind. I was like, yeah, playing college would be cool, but I never really thought like past that. And then like
Right.
getting to like we visited Bell's or whatever, and then we like watched a football game or something like that. And like I said, whenever that was in the midst of like I think it was Derek Ponder's final year. Or it
Hmm.
may have been after. I don't know. It's way longer ago than I'd rather admit. But like Hunter was there and
100%.
everything. We're like, dude, like it's actually a good brand of ball, and
Hmm.
like we more so my dad than anything was super like kind of impressed by it.
He was
And
intrigued by it.
yeah,
Was it how the offense ran, or because our
it
defense
it
really
was just
wasn't
like
that good?
they won, I mean,
Right.
bunch of I mean, no, I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's just a bunch of white kids going and whooping up on Valley
Yeah.
View or
Playing
whoever
white boy
else.
playing white boy football, I love it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what we go for at Bells, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But Hunter, let me get you in here a little bit. Obviously, I played with you, so I know a lot of your story. But just for the viewers that haven't known, you played varsity freshman year, which was a little bit unheard of at the time, right?
Yeah. Yep,
And
that's right.
so what would you say in that? Because you were there before I was actually. What was the obviously the team wasn't that good before like our freshman year, right?
Yeah.
So like our freshman year kind of is where everything kind of took off. What was the high school football games like before the arrival of Coach Ponder and the new offense and everything like that? What
Um.
was it sad to see? Was it hard to see?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean,
As
I
an
can
eighth grader.
remember. I can remember for a long time showing up to like to the varsity games and stuff, and there was like nobody there.
Yeah.
And I mean, they played one playoff game since like 2004 or
Hmm.
2003. And they never had a winning season until my freshman year, and when Coach Ponder got there.
Hmm.
And a credit to that, he brought
He
Derek,
brought
and he
Derek had
brought
a good arm. Derek had
he
a good arm for sure.
he
He
he,
brought a
he
lot of
brought
energy.
yeah, he brought Derek, and then we had some athletes put in the right places and brought a nice offense, and we took it and ran with it for a few years.
What would
Um,
making playoffs in the first freshman year, making that game game saving it was game winning catch slant,
right,
right? Slant in the
right,
back of the end zone.
yeah.
Take us through that. What was that like? What was that play like? That play call? How nervous were you at the moment? And how did you execute it?
You know,
Let me interrupt that real quick and say I was on the sidelines writing the plays down, and so I
Oh,
knew what was happening before Hunter did because
yeah,
I
oh,
was I was at that game. I came to every game like I'd ride the either the van or the van bus or the short bus, and I would literally sit there like next to the coaches, and every time they'd write a play, I would jot it down so they could go back and look at what was called and when
right. I
and like the
gotcha.
down and distance and everything. But
yeah.
Gotcha.
continue.
So, what do you actually, real quick, Bo? What are you thinking on that play call before it happens? There's a lot of pressure on that play, right? I don't remember exactly what the circumstances were, but I know that
I
we had a
I don't remember
score.
I don't remember the circumstances either. I just remember it's like a big moment, and I was sitting there and I was like I wasn't paying attention, and Logan Gunner, Coach Gunner,
Yeah.
to this day one of the best coaches I ever had. Um, He's like, "Did you get this?" And I was like, "No, what is it?" And he was like, "It's going to Hunter." And I was like, "You think he catches it?" He goes, "Do you?" I was like, "I think so." And he goes, "Me fucking too." And I was like,
Yeah, hell
"Okay,
yeah.
let's see
Hell
it."
yeah. That's the energy we need. So Hunter, let me go back to you. What do you think? You're lining up for that play. You just hear the play. What goes through your head right there?
Honestly, we were playing Collinsville, and what was
I
crazy
thought it was
is,
Clarksville. Clarksville?
or not Collinsville, Clarksville. My bad. We were playing
Right.
Clarksville and Bonham, and it was super cold that night.
Extremely cold. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't play. I was a transfer freshman, so I was just sitting on the sideline,
Dude, it
just,
was like
just being
so
goofy.
cold.
Wait, what? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go
It
ahead.
was
Never
like
mind.
so cold that night, and honestly, we had like had a shootout all game.
Yeah, it was back and forth. Yeah.
It was back and forth all game with Clarksville. They had some really good athletes, and they actually had a kid that his name's Kenny Gaffney, and he like played football and basketball and ran track at Tarleton. He
Oh,
was
at
a
Tarleton.
he Yeah, he was a senior when I was or no, he was a junior when I was a freshman. But anyways,
I'm gonna need to get him on.
yeah, it was. We got all the way down there, man, and we took 3 shots to the end zone, and we couldn't get it in, and it was 4th and 7, and I was like,
On the
God,
the 7 yard line, right? Like
yeah,
we're like
on
right
like
there.
on the 7 yard line, and we had never played in a playoff game, and we called a timeout, and Coach Ponder drew up a play, and y'all probably remember this. It's called juke,
Okay.
Yep.
where the H he'll run like a arrow, and I'll run like a, which technically is a slant, but I kind of set it. You're supposed to set
You
it
almost
down
run it like a. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a stop.
Dude, I haven't heard
Well,
that concept in I couldn't tell you how long. This
right.
brought me down memory lane. Holy shit.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
they obviously on the goal line they're going to play man. More than likely, they're going to play man in high school. And I told Derek, I said, if he comes with me, I'm not stopping. I'm going to run it like a slant. Well, he came with me and he threw it, and I caught it and everything, whatever. And it was kind of crazy, dude, because like I was like 14 or whatever, and I was out there playing with a whole bunch of 18-year-olds, and it's crazy to think about it now, but like the fans, like they was packed because we were right down the road. They were going insane, and they still got the ball and threw a Hail
Yeah.
Mary. They still got the ball and threw a Hail Mary, and I'll never forget it. Ethan Sanford actually intercepted it.
There we
Dude,
go.
that ball, that was the longest. The ball was in the air the longest I'd ever seen in my entire life. Dude, it was like the slowest throw ever.
Just
They
waiting
threw it
for the
from like,
worst.
yeah,
Like
and Ethan caught it, and we won, and it was awesome feeling. Um, Probably one of my top 5 football moments ever.
hell yeah.
Just because
That was a big one. That was
Bell's
definitely was a big one. Big one for the city, or I'll say town.
town.
Big one for
Yeah.
Bells. That was a big one
uh,
for Bells for sure. That was the start, I would say, of a lot of the success
yeah.
that they're still seeing now. So
I
good for
had
them though.
old men coming up to me like telling me like that was like the biggest play in Bell's history. Just cuz like dude, they hadn't like won, they like the year before they were like 1-9. The year before
Hmm.
0-10, like they hadn't won had a winning season in like 20 years, hadn't won a playoff game in 20 years. And it was kind of crazy to think, that it was me catching it, you know.
Yeah, it's got to be a great memory, man. It was a great memory for me. I mean, I was just sitting there shivering my balls off the entire time.
No, for real.
I wasn't writing down plays or anything, being productive. I was just like, "Fuck yeah, go Hunter!" So that's cool too. Got to have moral support. But that's our first playoff game. We win that one, and then I think the next game is the
At
Baylor game.
Mark, we play Baylor. We play
Oh, we played
Mart
at
at
Baylor.
Baylor. Yeah,
Yeah, and Mart destroyed us.
yeah, that was a
That
great one.
man, I wasn't even playing, and I was like, all right, let's go ahead and head out. Let's go
Yeah,
ahead and start the bus. Let's get the fuck out of here. I don't even remember what the score was at halftime or anything, but there's no
They
way
beat
I'm coming
us.
back.
Yeah, they beat us 77-6.
Yeah, it's a
I mean,
bad
but I
day.
mean, they're a historically good program. They've won like 9 state championships or something like that. So, I
Do we
mean,
know anybody that actually started playing anywhere coming out of Mart? I didn't
oh
really
yeah,
keep
I
up
they've
with
mean,
anything.
recently they've sent kids to Houston, Baylor, like all over the
Oh,
place,
oh yeah,
okay.
they've
and a
So
had
lot of
they're
them
the real
like
deal. Their
oh yeah,
defense really was it. I mean, our offense was very good. Our defense wasn't there though. It's
their
kind of
quarterback their
like a
quarterback
Big
was going to
12 school.
TCU. Their running back, he was a junior that year that we played him, and he was committed to Texas because his dad played for the Redskins, and I can't remember what else, but his dad played for the Redskins. He was committed to Texas, and he got kicked out of school.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I
he
need to
got
have
kicked.
some. I need to have some of those guys on Stinkbait too. The guys that get
Yeah.
kicked out of
see if
school
you
and
can get
shit like that.
Jonte Cook on.
I'd love. Oh yeah, I'll reach out to them
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh.
I'll reach it out to everybody.
That dude is something else, man.
I want to
Has a
get
world in
that
his hands.
guy. Y'all know that Alabama player that was texting Kalen DeBoer's like daughter or something?
Daughter.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
I got to reach
Yeah.
out to that guy, see if he's
That dude's got
available.
a pair on him, dude.
Yeah. He's
Dude,
got a
you're
bounty over his head.
Could y'all imagine being college players?
dude,
Could you
there's
ever imagine pulling that
As,
move?
no, okay.
as a college kid, like especially like as a guy who's like you grow up like idolizing these Power Five players, like that's where you want to be, and then you see all these guys that literally have the world in their hands, and it's like they just take it and throw it away. Like
Yeah.
Jonte Cook, I don't know what his NIL evaluation is, but he gets caught stealing keys through a drive-through window because we got some our running backs from DeSoto, so he knows them, like played with them and everything, and he knows
Oh,
everything that
really?
went on, and it's just like, I mean, it pisses me off just because
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
got it. Yeah.
I
Because
don't
you would
know,
kill to be in that position, right? To be able to get
yeah,
NIL money, to be able
Yeah.
to play on the big
yeah,
stage. I think everybody that loves football, me, I'm about to be 25. I'm out of shape. If I got the call today, I would be there tomorrow, like 100%. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So seeing these guys get, I mean, I see a lot of Georgia players, a lot of SEC players.
Bro, let me just add one more thing about that Alabama thing because I'm an Alabama fan.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
You're going listen, bro, dude. You're a Division One football player at Alabama. You know how many
Top of the top.
fine. Do you know how many beautiful women go to Alabama?
There's got to be a unlimited list of the most beautiful women you have ever
Right? You know what
seen,
I'm saying, bro?
and you're
Why
on the
her? You know
football
what I'm
team.
saying? First
You're
off,
on the football
first
team.
off, you did some crazy work. If you'd just hit her up and been on some cool stuff, it might have been cool. But you're doing like,
But yeah,
what
you
did
were
he say
asking
to
like
her?
he was asking like if she
He
wanted
was
to see
like,
his like
"Don't you?
third leg or something, like,
You wanted this third leg? That is crazy to say to your head coach's
or
daughter."
like he said horse leg or something like that. Horse dick. I don't know. I don't know
But
what it
anyway,
was. It
for
was
for
way over the line though. I'll say that.
yeah, you don't say that. Number one, you definitely don't say it to your coach's daughter. That's insane.
I saw a couple of like leaks from Ryan Williams. Did you see those? He was like, "Is it a water fountain?"
yeah,
Is
Is
it
what
a
he was
water fountain?
asking. I mean,
See,
good
but he's only
questions. These are
seven.
good questions.
Yeah,
He
but
is only
that's
that
more.
17, so it's
that's another
weird
thing
though.
too. Like, yeah, but like also too, like you got to think like I'm not proud of every text I've ever sent,
Yeah,
and
it's
so
my
and so
Snapchat's got
those
exposed.
those
Oh
guys
my
like the
god.
girls that are sitting there and like exposing it, like
Oh
they're
yeah, they're
just
fucked
as
up.
lame. Not that
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not vouching for the guy who texted DeBoer's daughter, like whatsoever. But
can't do
I'm just
that.
absolutely.
let me
Ab-
preface by saying that
Absolutely not. But no, the water fountain one's a little bit more acceptable because he's only 17, and like he just kind of
I
got like
I think it's
thrust
not
into fame.
acceptable. I think it's not acceptable, not from Ryan Williams' perspective, but the girl, because that Ryan Williams is 17.
Yeah,
That's technically like like he's a minor. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
know
but it
that
don't work
not
like that, my guy.
exactly not a lot of people like to see it
yeah,
that way, but that is what it is. I
If
mean,
the
Technically,
roles
yes.
were reversed, then
Yeah.
whoever
yeah,
leaked,
he'd be locked up. We'd
Yeah.
see him on ESPN,
Yeah.
stinkbaitTV. You know,
You know how many girls he's probably put it on this past year?
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blame
Yeah,
him. Dude, he went off. I mean, he was.
yeah,
I can't
she's
believe that they
definitely
kept him,
clout
to be
chasing
honest.
for sure.
But yeah, we'll see how he does. I hope he transfers out of there. But
He's not. He's not. He got it tatted on him.
yeah.
He got the A tatted on him. He's not leaving.
Didn't some like other? I feel like I saw like somebody get like the Georgia symbol like tatted on them, and
No,
then
this dude from Grambling
oh, was
transferred
it Grambling? And he
because they had
transferred.
the same G. I don't remember who it was, but I got a homeboy
Yeah,
that plays there, and I was asking him about it.
there's a story
But
behind that though. Yeah, 100%. So go where were we? We were on March at Baylor, right?
yeah,
Let's go to some playoff games for you, Bo. I didn't see any of them. Go through
You
the
had
first.
more of them.
Yeah, he had more than we did.
Well, more wins. More
Well,
wins.
we lit the torch.
Yeah.
We just passed it on to him, right? All right,
yeah.
Bo,
My
freshman year. What?
so my
How did that go? Sorry, go ahead.
so my freshman year was, to this day, throughout college and everything else, that's the closest I've ever been to quitting football. And
Holy shit, really? Freshman
yeah,
year of high school football.
freshman
That
year of
was
high school football. Uh,
walk us through that.
obviously, so I we meet up for 2 days. First day of summer workouts, or I went through summer workouts and everything, and no one's really said anything to me about whether or not I'm going to be on varsity or JV. And so I was like, I would rather play it safe and just kind of go with the JV kids, because if I go down there on varsity and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" That's really going to hurt my ego. And so I
Right.
just played it safe. And Coach Gunner is like, Coach Gunner, golly, he's like, "What the?" He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, I was like, "I'm stretching." He's like, "Dude, stretch down there, or you're not with them, whatever it was." So I go down there on varsity or whatever. Practice comes around, 2 days, fall camp, whatever we called it back then. Uh, I remember one day, I got the job. I was running with the ones, and of course, me, like, I can't.
What position are you running
I'm
at this
at
point?
receiver right now, because this is Ponder's last year.
Mm-hmm.
Is this slot outside or where are we on the field?
I'd kind of bounced around from both, but I was playing outside.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
so, because we still had Nate Stevens and Trevor Coughlin.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think Ben Stevens also played slot that year too. And so I'm 5'9" or 5'10", 145, 150 pounds. And I'm out
Nice.
there going against
Prime time.
18-year-olds. Yeah, like, as far as I'm concerned, all these guys got kids. And so I'm out there, and I messed up a route or something. I didn't know. Ponder put in a new concept, and I get either I wasn't listening or he just forgot to inform me, which is more than likely the first option. I probably wasn't listening.
Probably the latter. Yeah, I got you.
And he ripped my ass worse than any coach ever. And I remember thinking, like, damn, like, like, I went home and I was like, he's got it out for me, blah, blah, blah. Like,
So
I played.
through just to make sure where we are in the story?
We're leading up to
2
week
days?
one.
Oh, leading up to week
Yeah.
one. Okay, gotcha.
Like, I think the school's already started and whatnot.
Okay.
But he went home telling my dad about it, and I was like, he's got it out for me, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I'm done, And this wasn't where I was close to quitting, but my dad, he's if you don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but he doesn't really put up with, like, the victim mentality.
Right.
Or, and so I was telling him about it, and he was like, he jerked me up, and I was kind of past the point of getting my ass whooped at that point. And he's like, I don't know what you need to do, but obviously, like, you're not doing your job. You're not taking care of your shit. You're not paying attention, blah, blah, blah. And, like, I don't care if I got to go up there and watch practice every day or do whatever. He's like, his words exactly. He's like, if I got to whoop your ass on the 50, we're going to get some shit straight. But he was like, you ain't gonna sit there and just play the victim or whatever, this, that, and the other. Like you ain't gonna sit. You're like you ain't gonna just take it. All right. He's
Mhm.
like coaches yelling at you. Of course, I mean, Hunter, you know how it is in high school. Like coaches are yelling at you because they expect something out of you. He's like, you're not on the varsity because you suck. And so I was like, all right, put my head down or whatever, keep playing. And I freshman on the varsity team playing over guys that are 2, 3 years older than I am. Like it didn't really sit well with them. And so like, my mom's still picking me up from practice. I can't drive,
Right.
and it's like these I'm not gonna name drop or anything like that, but there's some guys who are just complete like dickheads to me, and I was fucking over it. I was like, man, this shit don't mean that much to me. Blah blah blah. Well, again, told dad about it. That's where I fucked up. I was like,
Right. Yeah. Back to the
yeah,
same speech or what?
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And he was like, all right, well, he was like, basically told me just shake it off or whatever. I only had one more year of it really. And so going into it, finished the season, I had maybe 10 or 11 touchdowns, something like that. Probably some of them, majority of them probably in throwaway time or something like that. But coming around to the spring, we're in 7-on-7. And like,
My favorite time of the year. I
dude,
love
that's
7-on-7.
it's so fun to
I
like
wish
to
I
this
could.
day.
I wish I could play it now. Like just sign up for a league, and just start doing that on the
Oh
weekends or
yeah,
something. Be
I
fun.
remember we were playing and we had a tournament in Blue Ridge, and I had a good day, I guess, not like a good game because there's like three or four, but I'm out there playing against, they're all welders now,
Right.
or
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's not like I was just going up against like great competition. No, no disrespect to any
No,
kids
no.
out that way,
It's high school 7-on-7.
but
Not everybody
I,
makes it.
yeah, I mean, it was just I was in a position where I could just out athlete kids,
Right.
and so uh, a tight ends coach from East Central up there in Ada, Oklahoma, he was there, and his son was playing on the team or something, or stepson, I don't remember, but he was there, and he came up and he verbally offered me. He was like, "Look, we can't like touch you until you're sophomore or whatever." But he's like, "I'll send you the graphic and everything. Like, we want you to be a Tiger." And so I go home that day and I'm telling my dad, and he was like, "Told you so." Like, see, just keep your head down. And so, like, I posted her or whatever. And of course, to me, like, that was huge. No one could tell me shit. That was probably the worst thing that could have happened to me in high school was I get that verbal
Is you get
offer.
it offer so early, right?
Yes,
What
that
age
was.
are you at this point?
I'm 15, probably
15.
something
Yeah,
like
dude.
that.
I was gonna
15 or 16.
I was gonna mention earlier that I know a thing or two about coaches yelling at you and everything. I got kicked off the team like 2 or 3 times or something like that. So Hunter can vouch for me on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But if I got an offer at 15, 16, shit, dude. I mean, nobody would have been able to tell me shit. Just like you said, I would have been. I definitely was a pretty annoying kid back in the day.
Oh,
Um,
me too.
it would have
Me
been
too.
10 times worse if I got an offer from anywhere. So
And if
totally
if
get
I'd
that.
have went, yeah, it didn't help my ego really. I
Right?
mean,
Yeah,
just
it's all good.
keep it in 100. But
Yeah, live and learn. Live and learn. Right?
right, right,
That's all
right.
you can do.
Well, I mean, that's kind of, I guess it kind of wraps up freshman year. But that spring also, right after I got that offer, Coach Ponder leaves and takes the air raid with him. And
Right?
so I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, all right, like let's see whoever comes in next. Like, surely they'll throw it.
So so
How bad could it be?
right. Certainly they'll throw it. Let me ask you before you get into that. How did Ponder leaving? No shade on Ponder, great family, great guy, whatever. Um, they but his offense was good. And whenever he leaves and that air rated offense leaves, passing the ball leaves. So how did you and your dad and you know maybe your brother as well? How did they take that on
Well, so
the change. Good.
when he left, we didn't know who was coming in or whatever. So it was kind of like we weren't that like skeptical of anything at first. And then we hear that the head coach from Collinsville, Dale West, who we'd played that year, and I think they probably beat us. I think, yeah, they did beat us that my freshman year with that slot T offense. He's coming to Bells, and we found that out. And like to me, I was like, all right, like at this point, I'm like, yeah, I want to make this. I want to make a run at this college receiver thing. And
Right.
so,
Okay. So sophomore year, you have it in your head that you want to go to college, play
yeah,
receiver.
into my freshman year, like after I was like, oh, I'm good enough to play college at some college. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy in.
Right. Okay.
And
Gotcha.
so, yeah, West gets the job, and of course, y'all know if anyone knows how it goes, it's y'all too. Word travels fast around Bells High School or
Yes,
Bells,
sir.
Texas, in regards to anything. Like it doesn't matter.
Could be the worst stuff. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it's
doesn't. It
getting
doesn't matter.
around.
People are gonna know. Well, anyways, go home and Dad's like, "All right, so what do you want to do?" And I'll be the first to tell you. I was like, "Get me the hell out of here. I don't care." Like, so we start looking at Denison, Sherman, Gunner. Like, we were prepared to like if we had to drive an
Gunner's
hour.
winning like championships like every year and
Yeah,
everything
Yep.
too. Yeah.
but we had just started building a house and some other stuff, and so we were so tied up in that, like we ended up not being able to. And
Yeah.
then a couple weeks later, Coach West comes to school for the first time, and he stops him in the hallway. And of course, he's a pretty recognizable guy. It's kind of hard to miss him. And so I'm just trying to, I've got my head down and a ball cap on, and I remember I still had headphones with the wires, and I put them in my ears. And
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to walk past him, and he grabs the back of he grabs me by the backpack, and he was like, "Hey, like, introduce himself. I'm Dale West." Like, I was like, I'm Bo. What's up?" I didn't want shit to do with him, and
So
he was like,
are you still thinking in that like time whenever you first meet him, like, hey, I might be
"Yeah,
leaving?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah."
gotcha. That makes sense then.
And so I was like, man, whatever. Like, Bells was fun while it lasted. And he grabbed me and turned me around and was like, look, like, because he knows how everyone at Bells sees him and like how they feel about this change. Going from throwing 95% of the time to running 95% of the time, like it's complete polar opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabbed me and he told me, he was like, look, if you'll stay here, he's like, I promise you, I'll make you all state running back and all state safety. And of course, I'm a buck 50 like white kid. I'm not going to be a college running back, and like even now. And so
So you were like skeptical about that whenever you heard it?
yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, all right, I appreciate it. Good to meet you, sir. Blah blah blah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, we end up not moving or whatever, and he brings in a DC from Melissa, Travis Robertson, who won state there and everything. And to this day, like I don't know how many more questions you got or anything about how my high school trajectory played out. To this day, those two, I call in and check in with them every single week, if not multiple times a week. Like,
And that's Dale
and
West and that's
Dale West and Travis Robertson.
Travis
Yeah,
Robinson. Gotcha.
yeah, yeah. They're still there.
They're still at Bells?
Yeah, both of them. Both of them.
Okay. Yeah, I know Dale.
Yep.
I know Coach West was still there. I didn't get the opportunity to meet the other coach, but that's good stuff though.
He's a hard ass. Like he's old, like military style, like.
Yeah.
And
Those are the
me
best
and
people to be around though.
well, yeah, it took a while, but
I bet.
he
Yeah.
after a couple good ass chewings from him towards me and to Brock, like he kind of grew on us. So yeah.
I gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
Hunter, let me bounce it back to you, bro. We get into sophomore year. I don't even remember how did sophomore year end?
How did
We still
sophomore year go?
Yeah, we still had Derek
Oh
and Ethan and
yeah,
all of them, right?
yeah. So sophomore year, I came back and there was a lot more expectations on me. Um, I put my head down. I didn't know how the season was going to go or not. I knew that I was going to, I was going to be starting. I knew that I was going to be getting the ball. Um, but I ended up having a really good year. Actually a really, really good year. I had like 1,400 yards and I had like 18 touchdowns or whatever. Um, Ethan was a senior with Derek.
Mhm.
And
Good athlete. That's a good athlete.
he ended up tearing his ACL like the 7th game of the year, I think.
Damn, I
And
don't even remember that. It's so long ago. But
yeah.
yeah, I got you. Go
Uh
ahead.
and really I ended up having a really good year. We made the playoffs and we played Clarksville again and we lost.
Lost the second time around. Okay, I do remember that now. Yeah, where were we playing at? Was it in Bonham again, or
I think it was in Bonham again.
Bo? Help us out here.
Yeah, we was in yeah, we was in
Yeah,
Bonham.
that was bottom.
Gotcha. Okay.
Uh, and it was a good game. It was a shootout. I think I had 3 touchdowns or something like that, and 170 yards or something on something like that, like four or five catches or something. But I had a really good year. It was short lived because if we wouldn't have lost Ethan, we would have had a really good team.
Yeah, it'd have been a lot of threats everywhere. I mean, just
Yeah, that
that
was part.
shootout would have been a lot better for that second time going against Clarksville. But you
Yeah,
know, can't change the
you know,
past, right?
yeah, can't change the past. He did his thing towards ACL and whatnot, whatever. Um,
Then we have
but
junior year. Then we have junior year and senior year. Um, Quarterback change, a little bit
yeah,
of a uh, I guess personnel change all around. Everybody's graduating and everything. So
yeah,
we still did pretty good. Did
yeah.
did we win that first?
What's funny, Hunter?
What?
What's funny?
I don't even know. What is funny, Hunter?
I,
Yeah, we can't talk about. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Don't want to say too much. We did pretty good. Um,
yeah,
Junior year, a
yeah.
little bit of
Junior
a
year was
little bit of a change, but still
definitely
good.
was a change. You know, uh, a lot of different balls getting thrown my way.
I can't. I can't.
What?
All right. All right. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'll have to edit that out if I remember to.
What are you
Sorry.
laughing for?
Go ahead. A lot of different balls coming your way, right? Okay. That's
Yeah.
one. That's one way to say
No,
it.
it was just different.
Bo, help us out here.
Yeah, Bo.
What was
I
different
don't have a
about junior
dog in
year?
this fight.
What was different
Uh,
about junior year for
I
us?
switched from writing plays down from a pencil to a pen. That's what was
That-
different from Hunter's
that's
junior
that.
year.
That's it.
No,
Yeah, they actually gave me a clipboard.
There we go.
no.
There we go.
To be
Upgrades.
honest,
Lots of
to
upgrades.
be to be honest, I don't really think we had a plan going into junior year. We lost our whole team. Like
Yeah.
lost our whole team. I think it was kind of let's
Kind of like a
and
rebuild, but not a rebuild though. We were still trying to. We were still
yeah,
trying to win.
I don't. I'm not trying to sound like arrogant or anything because this was like 8, 9 years ago, but I kind of feel like Coach Ponder's plan was to like let's see how far Hunter can take us.
Yeah,
Um,
the ball did go up to you a lot,
yeah,
but I mean, you came down with it a lot too. So I mean,
yeah. Um,
but if you
you
have
know,
three people carding you, then it might be hard to do that consistently if they
yeah,
know the ball's going to you.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a ballsy team. I think a lot of onside kicks, a lot
That
of
was that was
yeah,
different too. I never understood. I
that
mean,
contributed.
I
That
understood
contributed
it. I know why it was done, but I just never seen 1,000 onside kicks in football
to do it
before.
over and over and over again.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah,
they know it's coming. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, but live and learn, right? Can't change the past. Senior
yeah.
year, that was better though, right?
Definitely was better. We had until you and Gabe got kicked off. We honestly, I thought we was gonna have a pretty good season. I don't want to talk about that too
No,
much.
no, no. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. It's all
I'll
good.
never
Bo,
that
Bo,
that
do
was
you know about this?
I know y'all got kicked off, but I I
That
you'll
was
have to
probably
remind me.
the best moment. We was playing our biggest our biggest, I guess, game of the season. Valley View was ranked like fourth in the state or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and we were ranked like I think 13th.
Was that before or after that picture? All of them got late kissing the mom.
Wait, what now?
What?
Have
What'd you
y'all
say?
ever seen that, dude?
What'd you say?
That Val, we drug. I don't remember. We did. This didn't happen whenever we played them, but I remember it was early in my high school career. They had like a photo shoot, like senior photo shoot with the moms, and one kid was literally like macking his mother down.
Oh,
And
I'm not sure
Nah,
about that.
I ain't see that. That's good. That's good content.
if I could find it, I would. I don't think I have it though. I think I try to
Yeah,
keep shit like that off my phone.
That's probably a good
please.
idea. That's probably a good idea.
Got Tom
After a few
Brady.
after a few years, you gotta delete stuff like that from
Yeah.
Yeah.
high school. Move on. But yeah, yeah, I would probably say me and Gabe were a pretty big distraction towards the end of the year. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. Just gonna 10 years later, right?
10 years later, it was very, very late apology to the team.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and make an address to the team, to the 2018 Bells Panthers. I fucked up, guys. Fucked up bad. The whole story really, like, I don't think I've said it on this. And I'll name drop on this because it was 10 years ago and I got in trouble for it. Uh, Guy by the name of Jarrett Ryan. Everybody knows him, right?
Yeah.
Well, we went on a college visit that day to UNT. I chilling on the bus like I do. Jarrett, being the bad kid that he is, decided to pull out a vape, and somehow it got back to our principal that I had a vape, and decided to check out the contents of my bag, my backpack. Um, Turns out there was a bottle of piss in there for some reason. I don't know who left it in there, but it was found, and kind of caught me red-handed with that. And so yeah, I got
Yellow-handed.
yeah yellow-handed, yellow-handed with that. So I
Right.
got. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I said no. I was just laughing. I was just saying, right, yellow-handed. That's funny.
But yeah, I got called. I got suspended for that game. Was told not to go to the game. Got drunk. Showed up to the game and was acting rowdy. And
The funniest part of this is, I think it was like the third quarter, and I'm they're kicking off, and I'm sitting there, and I'm back there about to return a kick, and I turn around, and Jordan, the cops are going down by the ag barn, and Jordan's getting well, Jordan didn't get arrested originally. He ran. But I knew they were going after because I saw Jordan, and I'm not going to name drop the other person, but I saw Jordan. But I wasn't paying him no mind because I was like, damn, I hope he doesn't get like caught. But it was just funny because I'm sitting in the back there and I turn around and I'm about to return a kick and Jordan's back there drinking and shit. It was just
running my own kickoff
yeah.
back. I went to the egg barn, um, turned around and I saw a cop pull up, and then I had a decision to make. I could run through the cross country trail all the way out and catch a ride home and get away with it, or I could just go up to the cop. And I tried the first option and got all the way back home and everything, hitched a ride. And as soon as I got home, my mom was like crying, like bawling her eyes out. As soon as I see that, I'm like, fuck, like I'm done. I got caught. I don't know how I got caught, but I got caught. Um, I had to be like driven back up there. As soon as I see the cop and I'm getting like handcuffed, I'm bawling, crying out of nowhere. So I was being a bitch about it,
Pussy.
looking back. Yeah, pussy, whatever. Um, yeah. So that was the 2018 season. They didn't do too good after that.
Yeah.
And I
You
was
know, honestly,
probably
we could have still beat Valley View. You know, we were down 10 after that happened, and
I wasn't that much of a distraction
no,
though.
you wasn't. No, you
Yeah,
wasn't. You really wasn't.
yeah, no.
We were just kind of hoping that you know, um, that after that game you would come back and then kind of be like nothing ever happened. Um,
Yeah, I was hoping the same thing, but I got DAEP for 6 months for the
yeah,
rest of my senior year, and sat in a closet
yeah,
and watched YouTube videos for 6 months. But I got out early every day, so it wasn't too bad, I guess.
yeah. No,
Bo,
you really wanted a distraction though.
brother, you still there?
I am. I'm still here, man. I'm
You
just
ever,
listening.
yeah, you ever go to ISS or
Anything?
DAEP?
No, I never. I was a lunch detention guy. I was always talking or laughing or something, but I never got suspended. I never got DAP anything like that.
Yeah, so that's
But
good. That's
I
good.
was I was still friends with all the guys that were. Like nothing
Right. Yeah,
against
you're all
them. I
cool with
probably
them.
did the same thing. I just didn't get. I got lucky and didn't get caught.
I
So
gotcha. I just want to ask you though, if you did get ISS or DAEP, how do you think your dad would react to that? How do you think he would react to that phone call?
well, I got kicked out of beta in 7th grade, and
What's beta?
he it's like a National Honor Society thing. It's if you got
Oh
good
yeah,
grades.
yeah, beta club, right? I
Mm.
think that's what
Yeah,
he
I
means.
got a. We went down to we had a convention or whatever in Grapevine in my 7th grade year, and went down there, got in trouble. Didn't think I was going to get back to my parents. Get
Yeah.
back the following Monday, go home. The weekend was cool, like nothing happened. Following Monday, I get called out of class from Mr. Steger, the principal down there at the junior high, and he was like, "Hey, we know that this happened. Is that true?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "All right, well, here's what's going to happen. I'm gonna give you," and I just like without hesitation, I was like, "SWATs," and he was like, "Well, I was just gonna say 2 days of lunch detention, but we'll give you SWATs," and I was like, "Wait,
Do whatever you want to do,
go back, go, yeah."
right? Yeah,
So I was
let's
like, "All
take
right,"
the original
and
offer.
so yeah, he swatted me twice,
How
and
does that
I go on
feel?
about my day. I mean,
It
he
felt very awkward, didn't it? Like a very
yeah, I
awkward
mean,
experience.
like I said, I've had my ass whooped before, but I mean, he crow hopped into it,
Oh, he did.
and so yeah,
Yeah.
and so I went on about my day. That happened in the morning, so I was like, surely this day can't get worse. And I get called out of class again. Go down to the principal's office, and my dad's sitting in there. And it's
Oh shit.
spring, so like my dad doesn't come to the school. It's not football season, not basketball season. I didn't play baseball. He has no reason to come to school. It's right before spring break. This one was my 7th grade year. So like my whole Miami trip's kind of on the line at this point. But
Okay. Yeah, I gotcha.
yeah.
Keep going. Keep
Well,
going.
anyways, he comes in and he tells me, he goes, "Go get your stuff, get in the truck." And I was like, "Yes, sir." And so I get in the truck, and it's about a 25-minute commute from school to my house.
Just got bitched out.
No, he didn't say a word. He didn't say a
Oh,
Oh,
word.
that's even scarier, dude. That's
He didn't
even
say a
worse.
word.
That is
And
way
so
worse than getting
he
bitched
made
out.
it. He made it. He cut about 15 minutes off the time. And we get there, walk in the house, and he's grabbing me by my shirt, like he's just pinching like a little bit of shirt. And he's kind of like guiding me, like walking me through the kitchen. My mom's in there; she's pissed.
I just
Rips
want to
me
know, what
around.
did you do?
It was it was the beta stuff, right? Or
Yeah,
what?
it was from something that happened in beta.
What did you do in beta? It just happened
I'll tell you
12
off
years
record.
ago.
I'll tell you off record.
Okay,
I don't.
we'll stop. Yeah, we'll stop
When we
recording.
stop recording, we'll spin back to this. But
I got you. I got you.
I was just, anyways. So he's grabbing me like this. And he walks me to the kitchen, and he whips me around and grabs me up by my shirt. He's got me like my feet are probably a foot and a half, 2 feet off the ground. And he's like, "I don't know what the hell's gotten into you, blah, blah, blah." Because we're transfers. I'm a transfer at Bell. So I don't live in the district, so they can kick me out.
Yeah, for any reason. But yeah,
Yeah, we just left Bonham.
they wouldn't have kicked you out though. They They play
I'm a
favorites.
seven. I'm in 7th grade, dude. I don't
They
bring
knew. They knew.
anything to the
They knew,
table.
brother.
I don't
They
bring
knew, brother.
anything to the table.
We
Well,
saw
anyways,
you playing in junior high.
yeah, under the bleachers during the game.
No, no, I'm talking about like those junior high games on Thursdays.
Yeah.
We see
Well,
that shit. We see that shit. If you can shine like on that, they're gonna keep you. They'll keep your ass.
well, anyways, he whips me around. He grabs me up, and he's sitting there in my face, and he's like, I don't know what's gotten into you, blah blah blah. He's like, but I'm telling you right now, after today, he was like, I don't give a fuck. You can call the cops. You can call CPS. We're gonna get your ass handled. And of course, like my dad's a big dude, like he
Yeah.
still is to this day. And he was like, got me up, and I was like, Dusty, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, I'm whooping your ass. And of course, I didn't say that. Let me.
Yeah, just in your head.
trolling. No, I'm
Just in
sitting there
your head,
crying.
like, are you crying? Yeah.
Tears are rolling down my
I was gonna
face and
say, dude,
everything.
you're a fucking tough
No.
guy. I know I would have been
No.
bawling. I would have been bawling in the car.
Yeah,
being
dude,
quiet.
I was so scared. And so he sits me down and he's like, go talk to your mom. And he leaves. Or I thought he left. And so my mom's giving me a little talking to or whatever. And she's like, we didn't raise you to be like this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, go see your dad.
You got good parents, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Hell,
Because
she's like, you'd say that. I didn't think this at the time because she's like, go see your dad. He's in the garage. And so I walk out there. Keep in mind, this is at 11 a.m. on a Monday.
right.
And so I walk out in the garage and he's got a shovel in his hand. And I'm thinking, like, there's no way in hell he's about to hit me with a shovel. Like, I really will call CPS if this shit happens.
Right. Yeah.
And so we had just dug like a little like water line to our house or something. And about 200 yards away was a big old pile of dirt. And he hands me the shovel and he says, fill it up. And so I walk 200 yards, get a scoop, walk back. I feel it all
200
the way up.
yards. 200 yards. You're getting to the dirt, carrying it all the way back.
Yes. Yeah. I'm walking however far it was.
Damn.
Of course, it's probably, it was probably like 50, but it was a really long way.
Right.
For
No,
a
I got you. I
seventh
got you.
grader.
Good for the story. It's good for the story.
And so, anyways, I finish it, and for some reason, I'm thinking like if I do a good job, like I won't be in trouble. If I do it fast and efficient, like I'll get promoted or some shit.
Yes, right.
Well,
he'll be happy.
And
He
he takes me back to school to finish the day, so my eyes are all puffy and stuff.
Oh
like I've been
shit!
crying.
Really? So this happened in the morning. You go.
Yeah.
This is all during the
He picks
day.
me up. This is all in one day. Takes me back to school. I come back home that night. Tells me he's like, look, like I'm sorry. Whips me again. Or whoop, I didn't even get a whooping up until this point. I get a whooping, and then he's like, "Look,
think
like
about it.
I was like, I'm just doing it because I love you." And then I went into my room, and second I shut that door, I'm sitting there just flipping and flipping
Yeah,
off,
you're fucking raging. Yeah.
I'm sitting here like I'm packing my shit, dude. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we've all been there before, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But that was the worst. That was the worst trouble I ever got in.
Oh well, it's not too bad though. I mean, for you being that young and them nipping it in the butt like that's good because as you can see, I was a senior still fucking around and got arrested, and I really didn't get in much trouble after that either. So I was able to.
It's honestly a good thing for you.
Going through that and
I hate
going
to
to
say
jail.
that.
No, 100%. Going to jail and being like, okay, I can't. This isn't me. I'm not somebody that wants to be in and out of this situation.
Yeah, I'm grateful for every whooping I ever got, even if it was stupid.
Right. No,
'Cause we got
100%.
plenty of them.
Yeah.
They're needed. They're needed in society now more than ever. But let's go ahead and get back to football. Going to ask you guys a couple of recruiting questions, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
Hunter, first college that reached out to you, how did it make you feel? Who was it? How'd the conversation go? What was that like, man?
The first college that reached out to me
Yes, sir.
was Northwestern. That actually was my sophomore year.
Like the Wildcats, purple Northwestern?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's big time. You didn't tell me about that. The fuck?
That was my sophomore year, and I honestly I won't. That was kind of like the first time that I ever got recruited. I'll never forget it because Miss Branham brought me into her office. Um, and she kind of told me that they were trying to reach out to me and everything. And really, I didn't have much help with my recruiting process, honestly. Throughout
It was kind
my
of like just left in your hands to.
Yeah, it was kind of just left into my hands. Coach Ponder, he would bring me letters, or he got me to talk to Houston and a whole bunch of other schools. But
How did those conversations go exactly?
honestly, they were like, we,
And I'm sorry not to interrupt you, but how old were you at this point having these conversations, and
uh,
how did they go?
yeah. Well, I mean, I was like 15 or 16, when I talked to Houston, because I'll never forget Houston and Tulsa came down to see me. I don't know if you remember when I broke my ankle, right? And my
Yeah,
leg.
yeah.
They came in and they talked to me the Monday that I got back from school.
Hmm.
Um, and I talked to Houston, and that was a good conversation. Honestly, I thought they were going to offer me, but they never did. Honestly, they never talked to me after that day. Tulsa, they came back and watched some 7-on-7s and stuff. Never offered me. And I get it. I do not fit the prototypical receiver for for a college football.
I mean, I
You
think you
come in.
do. Long, lanky, tall,
Yeah,
and lanky.
yeah,
That's
but
exactly
the
what they're looking for.
um,
But they need
what real?
Different shade.
speed. Need speed, right, guys?
Yeah, right.
Different shade.
Yeah, I'm definitely a different shade.
Yeah, a
One thing
little bit
that
dark.
was one thing that would have been really nice. Every camp that I went to, I did really good. Um, uh, but the recruiting process, it was kind of short for me. Honestly, I didn't get a whole bunch of attention my junior and senior year for some reason. I guess because the ball wasn't getting pushed down the field to me like it was, and that's no shade to anybody. I
It's just
was more,
facts. I mean, let's just be honest. Yeah,
I was
that's what
more
it
of like
was.
a
Stop
running back
sugarcoating.
in a way. Um, but I wasn't really a receiver my junior and senior year. I mean, I was. I'm not gonna take anything away. Sorry, my
I mean,
ween
you were
dog.
getting it was either like lobs up to you or it was just a
Yeah,
screen,
yeah,
Randy or Larry. I mean, it's kind of
yeah.
the same
Or
stuff.
or like jet sweeps and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I didn't get a lot of I got some DMs and stuff, but it was kind of short lived. My best look was southeastern in a way. I got a whole bunch of like DMs, and I talked to a whole bunch of schools on the phone, but I never actually got offered. Um, I think Yale would have
So
offered me, but I wasn't gonna go to Yale
you
because,
should, bro. That'd been dope.
dude, I would have never got on the field academically because I would have
Oh
never
yeah,
passed
because
any of the classes.
you gotta pass that shit. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what are those conversations like? Like, what are they actually like asking you about
Um,
scheme, about?
Honestly, bro, like, I had a bunch of schools. One school that actually reached out to me. I don't know if you would ever even remember this dude, but his name is Kenny Stills.
I know who Kenny Stills is. Yes,
He played for West
Oklahoma.
Virginia.
Wait,
Or not Kenny. I'm talking about Kenny Sills that played for West Virginia.
Seals. Okay, okay, got it. My bad. There's the Kenny
Um,
Stills who played
yeah,
for OU wide receiver. That's who I thought
you.
he was talking about. Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if you know who he is, but he played for West Virginia, and a coach that coached at West Virginia, he left and went to ULM, and he got me on the phone, and he said that I reminded him a lot of Kenny Sills. Really, they're just looking for people who fit their system, and if you don't fit their system, then it doesn't matter how. I mean, it goes to a certain point. If you're good, like super good, they'll make you fit wherever they got to fit you. But they're looking for people that's going to fit their system. Like Bo, he fits perfectly into Wichita. I mean, they got a lot of.
E-
I'm not. They
e-
got a lot of like disciplined white
Even
players.
now, we just changed our our whole offensive scheme to fair states. So now it's definitely going to be more complementary to the
What you can
utility
do.
players like myself.
Yeah. And do did that what's it that one player is he gone?
Connor?
Yeah, Flanagan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was a
He
senior
finally
this last
graduated.
year. Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
But
I didn't mean to interrupt.
no,
You're all
you're
good,
good.
bro.
You're good. When a recruiting process happens, um, and they look for schools too. So like Bell's wasn't it's never been a heavily recruited place.
Right.
Um,
So it's
so
gonna be harder to break that threshold
yeah,
trying to get
I
to
didn't
a big school like that. Yeah, I understand that.
didn't get a lot of traction because of that. But the schools that I did talk to, they were like really just kind of saying whatever they can to like prop you up and make you feel good. And even if you get to a place, it doesn't. I mean, necessarily when I got to Southeastern at first, I really did. I had a tough time because it was different, you know.
Right.
Um, but I liked it when I first got there. Then we had a coaching change, and I really didn't. You know, there was a whole bunch of problems.
Right.
But they tell you whatever they can to get you there, and it doesn't. Whatever they told you, that doesn't mean shit.
That's yeah, that doesn't mean exactly what it's gonna be like, right?
Yeah,
They're
you're.
just trying to get you interested.
Yeah,
So like
they're
a
just trying
sales
to get you
pitch.
there. Yeah, that once
I
you're
do it. I
in,
do it every
once you're
day.
in,
I make cold
yeah.
calls. I try to sell to people. And I
Really,
have
they're just
no idea
selling
what
their
I'm talking
program on
about.
you. That's all
Exactly.
that they're doing. They're just selling their program on you. Once you get there, it doesn't. They'll do whatever the fuck. Once you get there, they'll act like they don't even know who the fuck you are. You
Right.
know?
You kinda got like restart everything
Yeah,
from
you're
there.
restarting everything, but I mean, it was cool. It was mine was kind of short lived, like I said. I had like four offers or whatever. And Southeastern was the best one, and it was close to home. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay there. But once I got there, I had a blast. Southeastern's fun, and I'm not gonna lie.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it was fun. I had a good time.
Just I
I'm sure Bose was a lot better. He got a lot more interest than I did. So
I am interested to hear about because we graduated and I didn't pay attention to anybody at like
Right.
took a couple of years to look back and be like, oh shit, this guy's doing good, good for him. So both this you are who I'm talking about in that this guy's doing good. Tell us a little bit how the um the the recruiting process happened. Who was the first school to reach out, and who can you credit with uh, the most guidance in your decision?
Uh, well, like I said, East Central verbally offered me,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that was
they've
early.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, you said
yeah
that already. My
they
bad.
kind of stayed in touch like a little bit, But going into my senior year, I all stated on both sides of the ball, sophomore, junior, and senior year. But going into my senior year, that was still my only offer, and
Is going
so
into senior year still ECU? That's the only place you've
that
heard.
was that was
So
that was that was the
how did that feel going into that senior season? You've
well, it was
only
kind
heard
of one of
from
those
one.
deals. It was like I mean, like I hate to sound like a broken record, but just going back to my dad, he was like, if you can play ball, they'll find you. And
Yep.
I didn't really believe it, but so the summer going into my senior year, uh, I would I'd hear about a camp, or I'd get like an automated invite in my email or my DM on Twitter or something like that, and I would go. And so I'd work all week and just get enough money for the entry fee and for like the gas to get there. And I went to 13 camps, and I'd enter as a receiver, and I'd tell them like, hey, like, look, I have no receiving film, but I have like film after the ball's in my hands, and I've got
Yeah.
safety film. And so I'd enter as a DB and safety, and because I just wanted to play. I didn't care at this point.
yeah,
Needed a long snapper, I'd do it. Kind of water pail guy, lunch pail guy, whatever. But I went to 13 camps over
Program
the
guy. Is
summer.
that
Yeah,
program guy? I like that.
yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
I went to 13 camps, and I got offered at 10 of them on the spot.
What were some
Or
of
I
the
got
big name camps that you guys went to? Like, is
I
there is
mean,
there any like certain
I
names
didn't
for the tournaments that are like recognizable?
I didn't go to the big satellite camps.
Okay.
That's and if there's a kid out there that watches this, don't do it unless you're already offered by one of the schools. Do not
Yep.
go to it because it's just a money grab. You know, you're going to go there and you're going to go through drills. There's 400 other kids there, and you're going to get 2 reps at one-on-ones.
And they
That's
already
it.
know who they're looking at.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah,
already
yeah.
know. Yeah.
And so I knew that. I knew that going in. I didn't go to. I didn't go. I didn't really go to any big camps, but I went. I got offered at 9 on the spot, and one of them offered me after my senior season or in the middle of my senior season. But
And what are these?
yeah, that's
Can you tell us a couple of the schools that offered you?
um yeah, like a bunch of D2 schools, a couple D3s, like Southeastern, Harding, Ouachita, uh, Pittsburgh State. Um, there maybe more. Uh, Angelo State. I didn't get offered by West Texas A&M. I busted my ass. I want to go there so bad.
Mhm.
Luckily now they're in like a flex bone type offense, triple option type offense. So I kind of dodged the bullet. I mean,
It,
that's just
it,
kind of how it works. But
yeah, that's true.
Lamar offered me, and there's probably some more that I'm not thinking of. Kind of I'm on the spot.
Right. And Lamar was the school that you actually decided on, right? Originally.
Yeah. So my going into like commitment time, like when I gotta make a decision, my top 2 schools were Ouachita, where I'm at now, and Lamar. And my philosophy throughout all of recruiting was my parents aren't going to pay a dime
Right.
because I don't have enough money to pay for school. I don't have a job. I got gas money, and maybe every other Friday I can meet the boys at Buffalo Wild Wings at the town center. You know,
That's the life right there.
that's what I'm saying. And so I was like, I'm not gonna and I'm lucky because my parents, if need be, they could have paid, put me through school, but if
But
I
you
got
didn't want
if
that though, right?
I had a chance to kind of like help them out and just make one less thing for them to worry about. And so I was like, if I can do it, then I'm going to do it. And so going in, Ouachita was only offering me like an 80% scholarship, which would have ended up me paying like 2 or 3 grand a semester, which is, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not an idiot. Like that's good. Like a lot of people like
Yeah.
to only pay 2 or 3 grand a semester for college. That's really good. And so Lamar was offering me, and they'd only had me paying like 1,500 a semester. And so I was kind of on the fence about it. Well, I take a visit. I go down and I have my official visit at Lamar. This is
And where is
December.
Lamar at?
It's in Beaumont, Texas.
Beaumont,
Houston.
Texas. Houston.
Yeah, right
Okay,
outside of
got it.
Houston.
Hey,
Right
and
outside of Houston.
Lamar's D1, correct? Is that
Yeah.
okay? It's a smaller D1 program, but still
Yeah,
D1.
yeah. Well, anyways, I take a visit down there. It went good, and kind of like what Hunter was saying, like they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. Like
Right.
that's their job, they're salesmen.
It's a sales pitch, yeah, 100%.
Exactly. I'm meeting with the head coach in his office, and it's just me and my dad. And he told me he's like, I'm not gonna lie, Bo, like you're the number one like receiver on our board. Like we want you. And of course, I heard that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like to be like go where you're wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and these guys want me. But my dad said that. Thank God he was standing there because he was like, how can you say he's the number like you guys want him? He's your number one receiver. He ain't even on full ride. And he was like, well, he kind of started tripping over his words, blah, blah, blah. We go home. It's a 7-hour drive. We drove back the next day after school. The coach that was recruiting me from Lamar and the head coach came to the house for an in-home visit. And I was like, they were like, hey, we're kind of driving by. We're passing through. Like, are you home? And I was like, yeah, like, what's up? Yeah, stop by. And they're like, hey, like, we want to put you on full, like after what you said, like you are our guy, blah, blah, blah. And so to me, I was like, that's it. That was my goal, just to
That's
get a
what you're
full
looking
ride.
for, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and and to like I even felt more like I don't want to say like pressure, like that's not a good way to put it, but like it was D1 too, and like that was my dream was to play D1 football, and so I told him right then and there, I was like, hey, I'm in. All right, I'm committed. Like let's do whatever we got to do. Get me down there,
Gotcha.
and that's kind of how that went.
So that was freshman year. You made the change over to. I'm sorry. What? How do you pronounce your school?
Wachita.
Watch
Wachita. Okay.
Yeah,
So you switch over to Wachita. That's where your brother went to as well, correct?
yeah, he's still there. I think he's in another room. We're
Still,
roommates.
I got you. I got you. I'll have him
Yeah,
on for if he's down.
yeah.
To
Oh, I'm sure he would.
I'll have both of you
Yeah.
on. But he commits there, right? And
Well,
then how does that go? How does that go?
so we Beaumont is a very interesting town.
Okay.
Like it's there's been some crazy stuff that happened down there, and like I didn't know any better. I mean, I thought that all colleges were like this. Like I've got pictures of me. It was a bunch of gangbangers that just so happened to be good at
It's all
football.
Houston. It's all Houston. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
Houston,
from there.
Lake Charles, New Orleans, and so like I've got pictures of me in my dorm. Like the way I made some extra money down there was I'd clean their pistols for $20, $20 a pop, and I'd sit there and I just clean them and take them apart, lube them up, and that's not because I'm probably the farthest thing from a gangbanger or a thug,
Yeah.
but I just
Yeah.
grew up around guns and stuff.
So you know how to clean them. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%.
And so, well, anyways, we go 1-10. I played
Damn,
the
I didn't
last,
know that. I didn't check up on that. I just saw some
yeah,
highlights. I
yeah,
didn't see the
yeah.
record.
We go 1-10.
And how
And
much playing time are you getting at Lamar?
I
Like how's
started the last 4 games on all special teams.
okay,
So
all
I
special
wasn't.
teams.
They were gonna like. They. Of course, this is all hearsay. This is just what they said. They wanted to redshirt me, and they wanted me to be like develop me into a potential 4-year or 3-year player. And
Okay.
so, like I said, I still thought that I was better than what they were allowing me to be. And in retrospect, that was not true. Like I was 175 pounds, 170 pounds, 6 foot tall white kid. Like I can't that you not a whole lot of guys my size and like of my demographic can just walk into Lamar and be a guy. And if they can, they probably shouldn't be playing at Lamar. They should be playing
That
at
is true.
Texas.
Probably
And
true. That
so,
is true.
well, Brock's getting recruited pretty heavy at this time.
Hmm.
And uh my my folks started like my folks had split up right around that time too. And so I was like, man, like Lamar's not really all I thought it was going to be. I don't really know what to believe, what to expect. And I still think I could play there. But I think like I'm not doubting my ability, but I definitely wasn't as good at the time as I thought I was. And so I start talking to Brock, and I was like, look, like I'm getting in the portal. This is after one semester. I don't even make it a spring down there. And
And
so
is the portal new at this point, or when
yeah,
did that come into play?
it's
Yeah.
about the third or fourth year of it, probably. Uh,
Gotcha. Okay. So how is that like entering the transfer portal?
well, so a lot of people like what they do whenever they enter it, it's they don't have a fallback. They get in just blind, and then they don't get picked up by anyone. And
Right.
so,
Right.
luckily for me, I had Brock, and he was getting recruited by a lot of the schools that I'd already been recruited by. Wachita
So they
being one
already
of them.
knew who you were and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so they knew me and they knew Brock. And so I could text Brock. Like you can always talk to a school through a third party. Whether it's like I can't talk to say if you're a coach at Houston right now and I want to transfer to Houston, if we're on FaceTime, that could get us both in a lot of trouble.
Right.
But
Just like
if
NCAA
I
violations and
yeah,
stuff like that. Okay.
but if Hunter doesn't play, I could text Hunter and have him text you, and that's fine. And so I texted I would text and talk to Brock, and I'd be like, hey, text Wachita and see if they'd reoffer me. And he's like, all right. And he called and they were like, yeah, we still got a spot for you. Like, we still want you to be here. And so I get in the portal. That way, like, I know, knowing I wanted to go to Washita, more than likely I'd end up here. Uh, I get the portal in Drake, which is a FCS in like Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa, or something,
Okay.
and Houston Baptist offered me, and then all the other D2s that I got um, in high school kind of re-offered me, and this some other ones too.
Houston Baptist
But
D1 though, right?
it's now Houston Christian, but they were also 1-10, and they
Got it. So it was gonna be a
at
bad.
this point, like D1 just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like pause,
Right.
but
You just want to
it
play
was
though, right?
yeah.
That's
It wasn't funny, Hunter. But
you had to catch that. Ball.
well, anyways, yeah. So I was like, man, I just want to go play. Like I want to like playing with my brother in high school was fun. Like let's see what we can do. And maybe we can do it again in college. At least make it easier on my family to like come to the games and stuff and whatnot.
100%. Yeah, it's a lot
And
closer too.
so
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I took a visit there, and I told Washita, I was like, I've got like 2 other visits planned. I just want to like really like be smart about everything, but I'm probably gonna come here, so I'm probably commit here,
Yeah,
and I did.
great decision.
How was the this last season? What did you guys end up in record wise?
We went 10-2. We lost in overtime to Central Oklahoma.
In is that a championship? In the championship or something or what? What is
No,
that?
that was just first round of playoffs.
Did y'all win
Oh,
conference
okay.
this year?
You guys
Yeah,
had
yeah, yeah,
playoffs.
yeah. We
Okay.
won conference.
Y'all got a
We
ring?
beat. Yeah, it's on the way.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta get you back on whenever you get it. So you
Yeah,
gotta
for
show it off,
sure.
man.
I'll make sure I'll put Brock in it too. But yeah, we played. It was a pretty interesting season because we beat Harding, who was ranked number 1 in the nation at the time,
Yeah.
and I think we were ninth, and we beat them. Opening kickoff, I took it back 70 yards, and I was like, oh, it's on. We're about to put BTA, and we ended up winning 17-13, which is the biggest win in like school history just because they were ranked. And
Yeah.
so
You got the only touchdown on y'all's team? Or was it just two
no, I
more
didn't. I
field
didn't.
goals?
No,
Or
I
what?
didn't. I didn't score it. I didn't
Oh,
score
you
it.
just took it back
I
70
returned it
put it on
70
the 30
yards.
yard line or
Yeah,
something. Okay, I
yeah,
got you.
yeah,
I got
yeah,
you.
yeah. I think we took it. I caught it at the 15. I ended up going to the 15 too.
Oh,
But
okay, so you put them right there. Hell yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we turn around 2 weeks later and we lose to an 0-8 team.
Ooh, how'd that
Like
happen?
not even ranked. Dude, I could not. I couldn't tell you. It was. They came into our stadium and they didn't whoop
Ooh,
us, but they beat us. And
walking
ESPN
your
did a
trap,
write up
take
of
over
it.
your trap.
Yeah, there's a jersey for Southern Nazarene University. There's a jersey from that game in the College Football Hall of Fame for that. And ESPN did a write up of it. Said it would be the equivalent to like Kennesaw State or Kent State walking into Oregon and beating them.
That's gotta be
And
rough.
so
Do you know the reporter who said that?
no, it was some ESPN. It was an ESPN dude, but it
It's
was
a ESPN head. I got you.
yeah, it was
That's
whenever
crazy.
when we played them at SNU in Oklahoma City.
You know what? You know what's
This
crazy?
year.
You know what's crazy is when that happened. I was in the hospital, and I was I heard about y'all beating Harding, and then the next week, I'm still in the hospital, obviously, but I'm in there, and I'm like, I look at the games. I'm looking at who's everybody's playing. I'm like, oh, they're going to whoop Snoo. You know what I mean? Like, they're playing Snoo. They're going to whoop Snoo. They just beat the
Yeah,
number 1 team in the country. And then I
dude,
checked back 3 hours later, and I'm like, no,
dude,
no way.
our coaches like. I mean, we got
What did they
coach
say in the
really.
locker room?
Well, so we share a locker room, or no, don't share a locker room. We
Yeah.
split a wall, and so like before, Snoo's in there, and they're like leaned up against the wall, like about to like fuck these guys, we're about to whoop their ass, and so we're all like, dude, it's fucking Snoo, like what are we doing? We're just like we're
Ready to go party.
Can't do that at a Baptist school.
Right.
But yes, Brock and I were ready to indulge. But
Hell yeah, you are.
anyways,
Back to school. You're a college kid. You're
yeah.
ready to get fucked
Well,
up.
anyways, like they were being like assholes about it, which made it even worse. But like they were saying a bunch of shit, and we go out there, we walk the field, and they were walking the field at the same time as us. And so they're throwing, you know how it is, Hunter. Like you throwing the ball, they're throwing the ball, whatever. Just kind of like not even really getting warm at this point. And there was a new guy that threw a ball, dropped it, and rolled to my feet. And I take it and I just fucking throw it to the other end of the football stadium and keep walking. And I'm thinking like, man, fuck these guys. Like we're about to whoop them. And then sure enough, dude. Actually, that was the game. Connor Flanagan blew his knee out. And so, yeah, it was something.
Damn.
But yeah, we ended up because Harding only had because we beat Harding in the head-to-head, we get the conference championship. Yeah. So,
gotcha.
Got a ring out of it.
And then how the playoff game, is that the first playoff game? How many?
Yeah,
playoff
that was
games
round one. In college, I think it's 5, right? 5 being the national championship.
So it's just like
it's a playoff series,
like D1,
like high school.
Like how they have
there's still bowl games and stuff, but instead of like the Rose Bowl, you'll be like in the Chicken Express Edward Jones Insurance Bowl played.
Is that what y'all
Austin College?
Is that what
no,
y'all
we don't? No, we don't take bowl games.
Oh, no bowl. Okay, so it's just the playoff. Gotcha.
I never played in a playoff game, but I did play in 2 bowl games.
Y'all played Emporia, didn't you?
Yeah, twice.
That's what I thought.
We beat them once, and then we lost to them once.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
And what team did y'all play in the playoffs, Bo?
Central Oklahoma, right there in Edmond.
Oh, okay.
UCO had a good year this year, though.
Yeah, they did, bro. They got some freaking dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Who ended up winning the whole thing?
Ferris State.
Ferris.
Yeah, the same team that our coaches just flew up there and met with them to basically copy their whole scheme. And so that's whatever they run is what we're running now.
Yeah.
That's what y'all changed it into. Are you excited about that?
I am. It's at first I was kind of like skeptical because like I hear Ferris, we don't play them unless it'd be like 3rd, 4th round of the playoffs. And so because they're in a whole nother region. They're out there based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And
they are good.
Yeah, they're insane. But they don't have their thing is they created an offense in 2018 that is like straight wishbone and triple option, but they run it out of spread. It's one of the only schools in the country that can run it. And so it's hard to explain unless you sit there and I mean obviously my coaches can. I'm not very football savvy.
So, I'm sorry, you're running triple options out of a spread. So is that like maybe
it's a weird hybrid type of offense. It's pretty cool.
If I could compare that to any school that D1 school that we watch, would you say like maybe similar to Oregon's playbook, or what do you think?
Maybe it's a lot of motions. Like their 2 outside receivers are their 2 true receivers.
Okay.
Like those are guys like they're probably going to get to like the big shots, the deep balls and stuff, and then their 2 slots. They're like 90% of the time they're out of 10 personnel, and so their 2 slots. They've moved me to slot this year, which I've been playing outside this whole time. Well, their 1 slot that's your fast guy, your track speed guy. The guy who was either he could have ran track at FCS but he was just too small, or he's too small to play football. Those are guys like have them stretch the field vertical, take the top off whenever you need it. Maybe take a jet sweep around the edge. Yeah. And then the other slot is he'll have 4 catches a game, but he'll also have 4 or 5 carries. And so that's me. Like now,
gotcha.
So now I talked all that shit about me not being a college running back. Now I'm taking handoffs and be the pitch man, and stuff like that, as well as running routes and stuff too.
Oh yeah, and what's Brock doing?
He's a safety.
Safety. Okay, hell yeah.
And he's about the same size he was in high school. His legs are a little bigger, same height at least. And
I haven't seen him since
he's still starting.
Oh, that's good. That's a dog right there. I haven't seen him since like he was in. If you were in 7th grade, he had to be in like 6th grade. So
Yeah.
I did
Yeah, he was in 6.
right. So I never got to see him, but I heard about him.
Yeah.
But that's good for you guys, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Let me go ahead and stop this, and we can keep talking. But thank you guys so much. Stinkbait TV, episode 8, Bo Baker.
Appreciate it.